Bruh, Tyler the Creator is here, bruh. He's here. This Tyler album is stupid. It's stupid. Like, it shouldn't be this good. Probably the album of the year. It's very early in the year, you know what I mean? A lot of niggas ain't dropped yet. Niggas waiting for the summer. Drake didn't drop. Kendrick didn't drop. All these people ain't drop. Vince Staples ain't drop. I say Razak still ain't drop. SZA still ain't drop. Rihanna ain't dropping. She's probably never dropping. You know what I mean, Flo Milli might be dropping something at some point. I don't know where she at, but I would love for her to do it. Snow hasn't dropped yet. You know what I mean? But with that said, Tyler got it, bro. This album is so good. Like, the features are so good. This nigga got Youngboy and 42 Doug on this shit. Uzi sounded incredible. Pharrell sounded incredible. Drama killed the shit. And like, a lot of people was mad at the young kids for not fucking with the DJ Drama shit. And I want to say to those people, y'all gotta stop fronting, because I love DJ Drama and I love what DJ Drama did for hip hop and mixtapes specifically. But let's not pretend that we loved everything Drama did, bro. Because sometimes Drama would be talking over the best part of the song. Like, yo, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to hear Weezy. I'm trying to hear, like, Jeezy. You know what I mean? Teezy was on this album, so yeah, I mean, we got all the Easies there. I gotta be honest, a lot of times during the mixtape era, my favorite point is when the no DJ version of mixtapes dropped. It wasn't always Drama. It was sometimes there's other DJs that was worse than, like, Drama was very good at what he did. Let me make that clear. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you wanted to know DJ version so you could just hear that shit like unadulterated. You know what I mean? But Drama killed this shit, and he talked about how Tyler like really gave him the direction to, like, you know what I mean? Tyler had the vision, as he said in Rise. But man, this shit is special, bruh. It feels like truly the culmination of everything Tyler was ever trying to do as a musician. It's the Flower Boy sound. It's the Wolf sound. It's the Igor sound. It's that 2018 when he was just barring niggas up on those Lucy's like Okra and shit. That sound all just came together. Basically, haven't listened to anything else but this Tyler album for like a week straight, and this shit dropped out of fucking nowhere. Niggas got their work cut out for him, bro. I've been talking to so many people about like the evolution of Tyler the Creator, and I might have said this before on the podcast, but that shit is unreal. In 2010, if you told me that this nigga Tyler would be able to be like this much of a not this much, not this popular, but this much of a like a widespread across the board star. Like, there's people listening to Tyler now that would never listen to Tyler before. And let me say this, that was his own fault. Yeah, I mean, all that shock value shit, I always used to say that shit wasn't gonna last. And Tyler was smart enough to realize that. And I love that them niggas like grew out of that shit. Tyler, Earl, all those niggas. Remember when I was trying to put a friend of mine onto Earl years ago, and she was just like, I could tell he could rap, but like, I can't get past all the killing and rape and stuff. I was like, but you got to get past the killing and rape and stuff because he's so good. And he was so good. And he is. Like, he's, for my buck, Earl's one of the greatest rappers that ever lived. But looking back now, as in it, like, you know what I mean? I'm 28. It's like, yeah, that shit was rough. You know what I mean? And I'm glad them niggas don't rap like that anymore. I was talking to somebody about, like, you know, going to see one of them in concert. And, you know, they talk about how, like, I don't want to play none of that old shit. Some of that shit I would still love to hear. But I could totally understand why, you know what I mean, Earl wouldn't want to like perform like Epar, or Tyler wouldn't want to perform pretty much anything off of Bastard or Goblin. Somebody posted on Twitter a lyric from Troncat, the one where he says, rape a pregnant bitch, tell my friends I had a threesome. And they said, how does this person still has a career? And I was like, because he didn't rape a pregnant woman. That's why he still has a career. Like, nigga, you can't just cancel a nigga for saying that he hypothetically did it. Like, I'm not saying that shit is palatable or even like acceptable or appropriate, but it's like, first of all, I mean, Tyler took all of his lumps for that shit already. I mean, this nigga was literally banned from like 2 countries. He has a career because he doesn't make music like that anymore, and he makes great music. I mean, Youngboy sounds so good on this shit. 42 Doug sounds so good on this shit. It's like, man, this nigga really did this shit. I mean, what else can I say? Like, Dirty Mac All-Star. Like, this nigga made an entire album about Dirty Macking. Like, because the first time you hear the album, he says it in a couple songs, and then you hear Wilshire, and you're like, damn, this nigga made an 8-minute song about Dirty Macking. But then, you like, if you listen to it again, what's the song? Sweet / I Thought You Wanted to Dance or whatever. It's also an 8-minute song about Dirty Mac. I would say 85% of his album is about how this nigga's a Dirty Mac, and he sort of feels bad, but also doesn't feel bad, and he's like flexing. He's basically flexing on the nigga who he Dirty Mac who was his friend or whatever. And I don't support Dirty Macking, but I mean, when it sound is good, nigga, shit. You know what I mean? Like, I love it. I love the album. I just can't believe how much I love the album. And if you know me, my Tyler fandom goes back, bro. Like, Tyler's like my pop culture like gold standard for like what, like the freedom that motherfucker has to do what he wants, the way he lives his life. Like, I love it. I don't necessarily always agree with Tyler as a person, like his opinions and shit, but like the way he goes about shit, I love it. As a matter of fact, talking about not agreeing with him, one of the Nobody's Ask Shawn questions was about Tyler, and I might as well just get to it now while I'm talking about Tyler rather than waiting. It's basically a question about Tyler's internalized racism. My friend was saying that you kind of hear some of it on this album and like earlier albums, like on Flower Boy, when he's like something like, "Where the tall skinny white boys at? 'Cause I don't fuck with niggas." And going back to his career, and I think with Tyler, and I'm not defending this nigga at all, but one, I don't expect everybody to think or behave like me, and I'm sure there's a ton of internalized racism I have that I don't even recognize. I think I don't want to say the problem with Tyler, but I think one of the things with Tyler is one of those people where they like, I'm black and I enjoy being black, but I don't want to be black first. I don't want everything I do to have to be about being black, and that can get into some ugly places. You know what I mean? Because the whole idea behind racism is that you really can't help that. You know what I mean? Like, especially when you look as dark as me or Tyler, it's like, nigga, I can never not be black. When I leave my house, I'm black. Certain people, they can leave their house and they could not be black if they chose to. You know what I mean? They kind of have this ambiguous look to them. They're light enough or what have you. But a lot of Tyler's like output has been about how like he would just want black kids to be able to be free and like not have to ascribe to like the monolith of black culture. I think this nigga he wants to be like just a human being. But you black, my nigga. That's the thing. You black. And as far as like Taylor has, you know, a few lyrics about not fucking with like black men, or that's just weird to me, nigga. Like I don't fuck with it at all. It's like, nah, nigga. Like, nah. I can't, like, there's no defense for it. No, nigga, like that shit's nasty. That shit is off-putting. The woman he's pursuing in his videos for this album appears to be a black woman. She's a light-skinned black woman. And there's a whole colorism thing going on. I don't know if that, you know what I mean? I can't tell a nigga who to date or who to like. And that's where it comes down for me. It's like, if the nigga, like, I don't fuck with niggas, like, that's nasty and, like, it's hard, you know what I mean? If that's your stance on everything, like, I wouldn't fuck with you. But, like, I mean, everyone around Tyler appears to be black, and he seems to fuck with black people aside from that. So, I don't give a fuck who you date, but that shit is a weird-ass lyric to say, my nigga. By the way, you are watching the Defending Undefeated Industry Musical Podcast on this motherfucking planet. Hosted by me, Shawn Murray, Chico Diamante himself, the original Diamond Boy, the original Thin Black Duke, international heartthrob, heir to the Murrays here, Pomade Fortune, and of course, the first Jamaican in the Kentucky Derby. And to the people out there who's faking the funk and stealing my AKAs, you know who you are. You can't never be me. I'm the original. I'll always be the number one. I see you and I appreciate you, because that really just confirms that, like, I'm that nigga. Yeah, I mean, you had to come steal the swag, so I appreciate you. Moving on. They let this nigga Bill Cosby out of prison. Why y'all did that, bruh? Pennsylvania, you should be ashamed of yourself. All you niggas online who were like celebrating this shit, Felicia Rashad, and some niggas like closer to me than Felicia Rashad, like not fucking celebrities, but like actual people that I know and have interacted with. Like, bruh, Bill Cosby did that shit, bruh. But as the Hotep say, he was gonna buy NBC. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's why they did this conspiracy about him, because he was gonna buy NBC. Oh, I brought up the Bill Cosby shit because did you see that wild ass Ice-T tweet? Like, if somebody like Jesus Nice had tweeted some shit like that, it would have been funny because you could tell it's tongue in cheek. Like, it's clearly not serious. But like Ice-T has never, like, Ice-T has funny tweets, but he's not a comedian, and he doesn't do that type of. So it's like that nigga was dead ass, bro. Wild tweet, Ice-T. I know you don't give a fuck. You literally had a song called "Cop Killer." So I'm sure you're not concerned. I'm sure he's not concerned with what I think, but that's a wild tweet, Broham. Deleted that shit immediately. Wild. There's gonna be a pantheon of like the Bill Cosby tweets that go, like Kanye West's Bill Cosby innocent tweet, the Ice-T's Hot Boy Summer tweet, which is crazy. Like, dog, what are you talking about? That nigga first of all, this nigga Bill Cosby is like a rapist. But second of all, this nigga Bill Cosby's like 94 years old. Like, Hot Boy Summer. Like, these niggas gonna be back on the prowl. Sick stuff. Nah, don't do that. What else? We found out today that Messi had a 4-year, $674 million contract, bruh. What the fuck is going on in soccer? I mean, I know soccer is the biggest sport in the world, and the revenue that somebody like Messi brings in entitles him to that type of contract. But bro, that's fucking crazy, dog. $674 million. Imagine being able to give 673 of your closest friends $1 million and still have $1 million for yourself. That's fucking nuts. Think about how much $674 million is to you and the people around you, right? And then think about how much that is not a lot of money to the people who have like the real wealth. Like $674 million to Warren Buffett is like $40 would be to me or you. That's enough money that you could change your life and the life of everyone basically you know. That's the fact that there's money like that out there, and there are people, there's so many homeless people in this world. There's so many poor people in this world is sickening. And this is not about Messi. This is about like the money, because Messi makes a drop. Like if you ask any real soccer fans, that nigga's probably still underpaid for what he's worth to the sport of soccer and to the teams he's played for. $1,000 to me right now would be significant money. And think about how little, like how many times 1,000 goes into 674 million. You know what I mean? It's sickening, bruh. Socialist Shawn is back. I'm sorry, you know what I mean, if you wasn't into that before, but Socialist Shawn is back just to say, bruh, what the fuck can be done to redistribute the wealth in this world? Now on to Nobody's Ask Shawn. Y'all know the fucking spiel. Send the fucking questions in to nobodyaskShawn@gmail.com or nobodyaskShawn on Instagram. Got a good amount of questions this week, so let's check it out. First question, is a hot dog a sandwich? First of all, yes, obviously. It fits all the criteria of a sandwich. It's meat enveloped in bread, which is the basic idea of a sandwich. If a Chinese or like Korean bao is a sandwich, then 100% a hot dog is a sandwich. Secondly, who gives a fuck? Like, why do niggas be like, and not to the person who's asking this question, but like this is a question that floats around the internet a lot, and it's like people like, is a hot dog a sandwich? Like, nigga, just eat it or don't. I mean, first of all, limit how many hot dogs you actually ingesting into your fucking system, my nigga. Think about what you eating, bro. And I'm not a healthy person by any stretch of imagination, but like, do not be eating hot dogs, B. Like, please don't do it. Next question. If I could have any sponsor in the world, what company would it be? It would definitely be Haribo gummies, or Trolley gummies. I need that gummy sponsor, bro. Like, or High Chews. Them two. I fucking like. I need a candy sponsor because I eat a lot of candy and I'm gonna die of diabetes. I might as well get paid for it. What is a piece of advice that would still be true in a million years? Mind your business. It's probably the best piece of advice anyone can get or can give out, and not on some like don't be nosy type of shit. It's more like keep your mind on your shit. What is my favorite adaptation of some sort of IP, like a book, novel, or whatever? I think No Country for Old Men is a perfect adaptation. I think Game of Thrones was a great adaptation. Despite the consensus on the last season, I think the destination wasn't what we wanted it to be, but the journey was so fucking good. Like the casting was out of this world. Like the fact that it became a phenomenon like that is a testament to how well that show was adapted. Like the books are still theoretically coming. Yo, Mike, you realize we still haven't got Winds of Winter yet? Like me and my boy Mike talk about that shit like at least once a year. Like the Winds of Winter has still not been released. But anyway, I digress. That show was fucking great. The last season was bad in many respects, but we still got Hard Home, bro. That's an incredible episode of TV. The Battle of the Bastards, incredible episode of TV. The Winds of Winter, incredible episode of TV. And I could keep the list going. Even though it wasn't perfect, very few things are. Those are a couple that I really love. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, of course. Fantastic Mr. Fox. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is one of the greatest adaptations ever. What's something that I would love to see adapted? I've never read these books because they still have never been translated into English. But the books, the Crane Iron Pentalogy that Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is based on, which is it's one of 5 books. And they've never been adapted into English. I've never read them. But I would love to see that story continued, even if they're not related. If it's just like kind of vignettes of the same world. That's something I would love to see. What's a property I don't think should ever be adapted? I mean, most of them, honestly. But one that comes to mind immediately is a book series, most often known as the 3 Body Problem series, but it's officially titled The Remembrance of Earth's Past, which is a trilogy of sci-fi books by Chinese author Cixin Liu. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Maybe it's Cixin. But it's one of the most incredible series I've ever read in my life. It's some of the most imaginative science fiction that there's ever been. And I don't think it's adaptable. I truly don't think it's adaptable in a way that would be like satisfying. Like, I mean, it's so out there that it's hard to even imagine some of the shit that is written in that book. It's one of those pieces of writing where I'm like, I want to be a writer so bad, but I don't think I could do it. Like I don't think I could ever be anything close to what the level of like knowledge and imagination required to create those books is unreal. That's all a moot point because they are adapting it for Netflix coming up for as a series, and I'll definitely watch it. I'm excited to see what they do with it, but it's like it's tough to imagine it being anything close to what that book would require. It's so incredibly out there. Man, that third book, some of the shit happening in that book is like, what the fuck? Like it's unreal. So good luck to them over at Netflix, but I don't know. Where are you working? It looks like a mix between an amusement park and camp. Well, technically speaking, legally speaking, I am not working currently. If I were working, I would have been working for New Haven's International Festival of Arts and Ideas, which is a yearly festival that takes place in the summer in the city of New Haven. And it is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a festival. It's got music. It's got performances. It's got panels. It's, I think it's one of the best things New Haven does. It's a completely free festival. It happens every summer. It just wrapped up this past Sunday. That's where I would have been working if I was working, but I'm not working currently. Uncle Sam. What's the lesson you wish you could tell to your younger self? Don't count yourself out. This is a piece of advice my friend Dame has given me a lot over the last year, which is basically like, I'm someone who has these wild ideas, and then when it like right before I'm about to like put it into action, or if I did put it in action, I'm about to release it, I kind of start to second guess myself and like doubt myself and like criticize it. And he'll just basically say like, you're basically booing yourself before you even got on stage. You know what I mean? Like if you suck, let people say you suck. Don't tell everybody else you suck before they can get a chance to, because you might not suck. How do I stop guys from blocking me? Okay, first of all, just block them first. Like, you giving niggas a chance to block you. Like, that's the problem. You out here, you know what I mean? You probably in a bunch of dudes' DMs, sending nudes, being thirsty as hell. You know what I mean? This is just the vibe I'm getting from you. And it's a cool vibe. I appreciate that vibe. But you getting blocked, maybe you got to step your nude game up. 2, you must be with the wrong guys. So what I would say to you is just block them up front. How could you block somebody if you're already blocked? You feel me? I mean, you can block them back, but it's ineffective because they ain't going to ever see that because you blocked, bruh. They don't even care. So, yeah, go ahead and block them up front, and you'll be good. Beyond that, just work on those nudes, man. Better angles, more exciting lingerie. If I could be any character in Alice in Wonderland and not Alice, who would I be? Not that fucking caterpillar. I hate that fucking piece of shit caterpillar. He's so smug. Like, the nigga that be smoking the hookah in this Alice in Wonderland. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But if I could be a character, it would be the Mad Hatter. I mean, how could you pick anybody else with the Mad Hatter? That nigga, his whole job is just to basically frustrate niggas. Like, he just says a bunch of bullshit, and niggas be like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't know, I'm crazy, nigga. I got a big-ass hat. He got a cool hat, and he gets to frustrate people all the time. That's like my dream. And final question. If you could have 2 rappers as tag team champions, who would you pick? I would say Action Bronson. One, because he's a fucking character. And a lot of his music, it talks about doing all types of wrestling moves. He's obviously a fan of wrestling, but also like he's kind of like a fantastic. Action Bronson, the character, is such a fantastical person. He's very entertaining, very funny person, and he's been getting super fit and shit. So he would be a great addition. And then to pair him up with, in terms of like entertainment, Vince Staples. Vince Staples' gimmick would be mad cool. So he would just be like shooting niggas. Like he would his special move would just be pull out the 380. Those niggas would cut the best promos. A Vince Staples and Action Bronson promo would be crazy. They would be like The Rock, Stone Cold, Ric Flair, Randy Savage level of fucking mic skills. So shout out to them. That would be my tag team, Vince Staples and Action Bronson. Oh, and one last thing, recommendation, check out The Cho Show on Hulu. It airs on FX, but I think they all aired all episodes at once. So you just watch it on Hulu. It's a great show. David Cho is one of my favorite artists, one of the most talented artists in the world. And it's really just a fascinating way to play with the form of television. Part interview show, part psychological exploration, part fucking art show. I think it's amazing. So watch The Cho Show. That's my recommendation. That's the show for this week. Like, subscribe, share, save, do all those things. I got a lot of fucking cool things coming up. And as always, Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. All lemons.